Hey y'all, I am deep in doormat. I'm going to be painting doormats until I run out of paint or until I fall asleep. I don't even know if I want to debate or what, but I'm just trying not to fall asleep. I don't know who this person is. You're on night shift. It's like such a... This time of year is always just a lot. There's like holiday orders, and work has been so busy. So, but we'll do what we have to do to get this stuff out. It's kind of funny to say like, oh, I think she went to go make her meal sandwich, when like I know you hear me talking. Like I'm literally right here. Literally right here. Is the host trans? No, I'm not. You guys love to ask that question. I think it's very strange and kind of suspicious how obsessed you guys are with people's genitalia. Like, I think, honestly, people like you should probably be on a list somewhere. You know, people shouldn't be allowed near schools, sporting events, pageants. Beaches, swimming pools, etc. B, what are you up to, what are you doing up so late? If you guys want the guest box to be opened up for ops, then you need to be tapping the screen. There's only 300 likes, so, or you can just sit there and listen to me talk to myself. That works. Oh, that sucks me. Do your parents live in the same area, or did you? Oh no, you said you got on a flight. I remember you saying that. What is that for French? What? Bring me in right now. This is insulting. No. We gotta get to 5K likes, so just tap the screen. Be a good little boy. Not gonna lie, it was kind of peaceful painting this stuff at night, but I do wish I had better lighting. But I will say, if Olive or B wants to come up, you guys are welcome to. Michael, do you have some kind of hearing impairment, friend? I don't want to be mean if you do have a hearing impairment. And if not a hearing impairment, do you have some kind of cognitive decline or perhaps a processing issue that you couldn't understand what I said? I'll get so mad. It's funny. Well, if you can't understand that, Michael, then how are we supposed to have a conversation about it? I think that's going to be kind of difficult if you can't comprehend, if you don't have the ability to process what I'm saying, it's going to be very hard for you. The only thing that you can educate someone on is what smegma smells like. And I assure you, I have no interest in learning what that is like. Yeah, we're almost at 5K likes. Once we get to 5K likes, we'll have the first opposition. I don't need praise, friend. If I needed praise, then I would put something very pick-me in the background. I think this kind of background gets me praise. Almost done with this E. Perfect. We hit 5K likes. Perfect. Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, you sound very low. Hold on. Try that again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay.
What's up?
So, with your prompt, it says USA doesn't like women. Do you mean in terms of the government with their policies, or do you mean society,
I
or
mean all of
both?
it. Everything. All the things.
So, and not that I necessarily disagree with you. I just want to see where you're coming from. What part of society? What does society do, in your opinion, that leads you to believe that America doesn't like women?
Well, for starters, or one example would be the fact that they voted in a rapist over a qualified woman twice. Like that was kind of
Hmm.
sus.
Well, women also voted for him too, though.
Yeah, and women can also have internalized misogyny, just like people of color can also be anti-black or xenophobic.
Maria says, "Are you reading the messages from guys in this chat?"
Hmm?
No, I'm not. I'm talking to the host.
Why would you be reading the messages from the chat? Like,
I don't know what she means by that.
yeah, I don't know. Do you disagree with what I said?
Um,
Or do you want more
no,
examples?
I don't really. I don't. Sure, I don't necessarily disagree. I just want to hear your from a woman's perspective. I would just like to. I'm just curious because I'm not a woman, so I don't experience it. So I'm just genuinely curious on what you guys
Yeah.
mean.
Well, I think if you look at the history of the United States, um, the country itself has been always kind of been built on the subjugation of women and people of color, and that's why like we didn't have the right to vote when white men did. We didn't have access to our own bank accounts and credit cards until much later. And then once we started getting those access and those freedoms, they've found other ways to subjugate and restrict upward mobility. So, like with people of color, there was the substance epidemic in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. Redlining with women. It was the lack of paid child care or paid maternity leave, and then the increasing inability of people to function on a single income household. So then, if you need both people in the household to work in order for things to happen, then you have to have childcare. But then that kind of is restricting if you don't have subsidies or anything like that. Like essentially, if our society did care about women and we truly cared about being a functioning society, like we should be investing in um, people wanting to have children because those are our future consumers and our future workers.
Do you believe that the country is making strides in the right direction, or at least attempting to?
Not at all. Not at all. Um, because of the fact that they're restricting and reducing abortion access, they've kind of taken the route of, well, if you guys aren't going to have kids, we're kind of going to make you, rather than fostering an environment where people want to have children. So it's been shown that when you provide people with resources and the ability to have financial freedom and all your basic needs met, that you're more likely to bring a child into this world, or if you already have one, you will bring a second one in. But if people feel like they can't afford a child or provide the life that they would like to for the child, then why would they have a kid? I mean, birth itself in this country can cost upwards of 20 grand more if the kid has to stay in the NICU. Childbirth can bankrupt somebody, and that's just birthing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we shouldn't be like, women shouldn't be
If you
charged
could,
at all for anything. Like, when it comes to like pregnancy, they should be like, it's an investment. It's an investment to the future of this country. Like everything regarding pregnancy, all the visits, everything should be free.
yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Uh, if you could change one, just one thing, what would it be to make a stride in the right direction, or to make things better for women?
Mm, that's hard.
It could be a policy, it could be anything. Well,
Mm,
what's the one thing that's when you think about America and not liking women? What is the biggest thing that stands out in your mind?
oof. I mean, see, I'm tempted to say, like, when you're granted a wish, it's like they tell you you can't wish for 100 more wishes. Like, I'm tempted to say, like, my thing that I would want is
Mm-hmm.
just more, like a substantially larger amount of women in places of power when it comes to policy, because I feel like that would, like, in itself cause more female friendly or women friendly policies, mother friendly policies. So just more women in Congress and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I was just curious. I'll let you have some other people up. I was just
Well,
genuinely curious. Wanted to hear what you had to say.
you were very pleasant to talk to. I have a feeling that you at least respect the women in your life, because you didn't come up here and crash out. So thank you for that.
Yeah, people who do that are people are kind of ridiculous who do that. That accomplishes nothing. So I don't know why they do stuff like that.
All
But
it does is prove the background.
all
It's
right,
without trying. But
I
thank
know,
you so much
I
for
know.
the conversation. You're welcome up anytime.
All right, have a good night.
You too. That was nice. I don't believe that.
Hello.
He was an op, Nick. Are you okay? Zep bound Mrs. Frenemies? What? Hi, Denko. What's up?
1 second. I'm putting my headphones in. Stuck in my pocket. Testing, testing, testing.
Yeah, I can hear you.
How copy?
I can hear you.
Uh, do you really believe the prompt?
Yep.
For reals?
Mm-hmm. This isn't your first time
Like in
here.
all instant?
This isn't your first
No,
time
I was.
here.
What?
This isn't your first time here, so I do believe that.
You kicked me. I didn't actually get to speak. I was arguing with the Eastern Orthodox Christian.
Just because you didn't get to speak doesn't mean that you couldn't have listened and learned something.
Well, I was. I just I like beefing with that other guy. I felt like I'd get under his skin. The other op.
Well, yeah, you
That's
guys
kind of
you
funny.
guys were saying a bunch of not TikTok friendly words, so that's
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I
yeah.
like messing with people.
Yeah, but
But I'm actually
a
curious.
lot of ops do come up and they'll like be chaos agents to get lives taken down. So, like,
Oh, I
That's
didn't know
why
that.
you got,
I'm new
yeah,
to TikTok.
that's why you got removed because people, are gonna say that
Oh,
you did
okay.
that.
I actually did come up to talk about the prompt, but then that guy came up and I don't know. I got a knack for those kind of people. I like stirring the pot a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. But I
Hmm.
am curious though.
Hi, Parkers.
Um, is this a friendly of yours or
Yes.
uh
Yeah.
I'm honestly her biggest simp. So, what questions do you have?
I'm interested in why you guys think this. I'm sure you have uh valid reasons, or you know, I don't think you're coming from a nefarious point, so I'm just interested in your perspective, I guess.
You got it, Parkers. I have 3 brain cells left.
Bless your heart.
Why am I
Uh,
why am I here? I'm here for accountability so I get my work done.
sure. Okay, Dinko. Simping is not easy. Thank you, Kristen. I did start with you, and I have brought in my reasons. I've met the creative one to simp for. Um, Dinko. Let's start with like an easy beginning. So, what does the background say, and what do you think it means?
USA hates women
It doesn't say hate. What does it say?
or doesn't like, sorry.
It's just a strong distinction of like the importance of the word's choice. So USA doesn't like women. I would put forth for Exhibit A being the gender wage gap. What do you think?
I've heard conflicting opinions on.
You don't know what you're doing.
Are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yeah, it sounds like someone's putting you through a cheese grater.
Oh no, I'm laying sideways on my pillow. It was probably rubbing up
Uh,
against my pillow. I
I
have
was
AirPods
oh
in.
yeah, I was concerned.
I'll lay on my back.
Okay. What was your response?
I've heard conflicting opinions on that. Like I've heard people say it's real. I've heard people say it's not real.
Nice. So opinions are, like assholes. Everybody has one, but not
Uh,
everybody does have one. So have you ever read up on it yourself?
have I ever read up on it?
Yeah. Down a little Google rabbit hole.
That's a no.
That feels like.
Well, I've heard people like analyze it from different perspectives. Like I've
And were
heard.
those people very reliable, or were they very angry, red pilly, Joe Rogan-esque?
No, I watch both sides of the spectrum.
What's the other side of the spectrum, friend?
Yeah. So like, I don't really listen to mainstream media. I don't believe it. Mostly, I think they're disingenuous. But I do listen to alternative media. Like
Mm.
on the left side, I would say like I listen to sometimes like the David Pakman guy and like Sam Cedar, and then on the right side, I listen to like people like Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro. Although I'm not a big Ben Shapiro fan, but I do think he's smart. Um, who else on the right? Uh,
You think Ben Shapiro's smart?
I think he's intelligent. Yes, I think he's a bit of like a shill for some. I think he's got loyalties. Let's just put it that way. That are not necessarily American.
Mm.
Okie dokie. So you don't listen to mainstream media because you feel they're disingenuous, but you don't follow up with any research yourself?
Like, if I'm being totally honest, on this topic,
Hmm.
no, I don't really have the time.
You don't have
But
the.
here you are.
Yeah, I was like, it's like,
No,
where
I'm
are
curious. Like,
you?
I'm just,
Where are
I'm,
you?
I'm curious, but like on my free, like if I'm not working, I'm either going to the bar and drinking, and you know, maybe
Mhm.
playing video games, and you
Okay,
know, only
so
like when I'm like bored do I come on lives. But like, I don't really do like research in my free time. for the most part. I do it with like history. I love history,
Oh, great. Okay,
but
so
politics not so much.
well, the wage gap is like, yes, it's politics, but it's also economical value, and there's a huge historical context there. And as it stands right now, YT women make what 84 cents to the dollar to every white man's dollar, and if you are a woman of color, you're making even less, closer to like 67 cents to the dollar, and that is backed up by statistics.
Yeah. So if I'll just take your word for it. Um, I don't really like want to go down like checking sources, so I'm just gonna trust that you are giving me good statistics. But
I appreciate that. I do recommend you double checking when you're more awake, though, because everybody should.
yeah, I understand that. I just I like whenever they taught me in school about like checking sources, I was messing around. I wasn't really paying attention. I thought that was kind of boring to me. But now I kind of realize the value of it too late, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For sure. And like basic media literacy is a big deal for you to be able
Yeah,
to.
I plagiarized everything in high school. I
Oh,
used
jeez.
Wikipedia and then
Oh
I
wow.
made fake links
Oh
and
wow.
like I even made them blue and you can click on them, but it was just I just
Oh,
complete gibberish.
that is
It worked out
bananas.
well. I got like A's. They didn't
Okay.
ever like look into it, but
That's fine. My heart.
Everyone's so creative.
it is
Uh,
creative. Honestly, if you ask me, it's smart and
okay.
it's a good workaround. There's different kinds of intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that is creative.
For sure.
And
It's
But
fine.
I see what you're saying, but is that like I don't know if that's indicative of the entire country, you know. I'm sure there is people with biases out there, and I'm sure it does play a factor, but I don't necessarily think that means the entire country dislikes women.
Sure.
Just because some companies might discriminate based on biases, I don't think that's indicative of the entire country.
But if it is throughout um, the entire workforce countrywide, would you then agree that it is at least a systemic issue?
I agree with the fact that it's an issue. I would have to ask, like, is it legal though? Like, under U.S. law, like, is it legal to pay a woman less than a man?
the issue is that no, it's not, but it's very, very difficult to prove in a court of law.
Yeah. So the problem we have here is not necessarily like indicative of the United States as so much as it is certain companies that have biases.
I mean, companies that thrive within the United States.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure they do thrive. Um, I don't necessarily think that, that's indicative of the entire country though. If it like under U.S. law is illegal, like it is unfortunate like that people still do uh, discriminate based on gender, but like it's not legal. So I don't know if it's necessarily like a United States thing so much as it's the problem with the company.
Nice.
What I find fascinating is you said you didn't want to do the sources route, and that you would trust that our sources like made sense, but yet you're pushing back on them.
No, I'm not pushing back on your sources. I just if it's illegal under you, like I'm just pushing back on the fact that it's indicative of the United States as a whole. I'm agreeing. I'm like agreeing
Wouldn't you
with you
say that
guys
the
that like
wouldn't you say that the fact that it is difficult to um, actually go to court and prove any, honestly, not just the gender discrimination, but any discrimination, wouldn't you say that that is like an inherent flaw and shows a bigger issue? Like, why is it so difficult to prove it in court? Like, why is the burden of proof so high? Why do so many
um
companies get away with it?
yeah, so are we talking like criminal or civil?
I think discrimination cases are civil. I think.
Yeah, civil for the most part. I actually think it's a good thing that the burden of proof is high in this country. I think that's by design. I think if you're going to accuse anybody of anything, you should
But that
have
but
proof and then
that
some.
favors the corporation now.
It does, but it also favors you in a situation like if you were accused of something, you would want them to have.
But we're talking about specifically discrimination lawsuits, like the EEOC.
The what?
The EEOC. I forget what the
Uh,
acronym is, but that's the department that reviews discrimination claims and decides whether or not the federal government is going to take on the case.
okay, I'm not familiar with that department, but um, yeah, I mean the burden of proof is probably high. Um, I think that's just our justice system by design. Um, you just don't want a situation where, imagine if the burden of proof wasn't high, then, everybody would be accusing everybody of everything. So there does have to be a burden of proof, and it is hard to prove. And that does mean, unfortunately, some people are going to get away with it. Yes. Um, it's better than somebody getting accused who's not guilty of it, though, and, convicted. And I feel the same
But
way about
we're
like
talking about a
criminal.
corporation though. Like it's not an actual person. It's a corporation. It's a civil suit against a corporation
Yeah, but a corporation is just a group of people combining their money.
that have insurance to cover these kinds of things. Like I am never going to value a corporation over someone's lived experience. Like the corporation will be fine. And
Well, the
also
cover,
they could just not discriminate and save themselves the headache.
yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm sure there are corporations
Because you
out
got to
there
keep
that,
in mind that like it's not really like, oh, anyone can file a suit, because these kinds of cases, for um, the the plaintiff, it's usually like the lawyer is it's on a contingent basis. So like you're not going to find a lawyer to take on your case unless you have evidence. So there's already kind of a system that limits who could really put a case out. Like you're not going to find someone to take your case if you don't actually have proof. So why does there need to be additional barriers other than that?
can you reiterate your statement?
So so the plaintiff in these discrimination cases, most of the time their lawyer is on a contingent basis. So the lawyer is choosing to take on the case because there's a high likelihood of them winning or at least settling out. So like that's already like a burden. So why do we need an additional check there? Because like a lawyer's not going to take a case unless there's proof. So like if a lawyer's taking the case on, like why does there need to be an additional hurdles to proving the discrimination?
What do you mean by additional hurdles exactly?
Like, so for example, like you file a case with the EEOC, and essentially like the way that the EEOC has evolved, especially after the pandemic, like pretty much unless like you have proof that someone like called you the N word, like you have it on tape, like the federal government will not take the case. So then your opportunity is to file a civil case. Like there's all these stupid little steps that you have to do, all these hoops you have to jump through. You can't just file a case. You have to like file a claim to the EEOC, let them do their investigation, and then you can file a case. So then you can choose to file a case at that point, but meanwhile, this person might not be working. They might, so this delay makes it very difficult for people to actually pursue these cases too, and they're more likely to just settle for whatever.
So
I don't know. Honestly, I don't
I,
even
I
know how
could
we
be wrong
got
on
down
this.
here. I don't even know how we
Um,
got down this. I'm sorry.
I could be wrong. Um, but I was under the impression that civil cases, like, you don't get a prosecutor from the government, like, only in criminal
I didn't.
cases.
I'm not talking about a prosecutor from the government.
So when you
That's why
say
it's a
file,
contingent basis. So like you reach out to lawyers, and lawyers will
uh-huh.
decide whether or not they want to take your case. And so
Oh,
they
like
only get paid.
private business
Yeah,
lawyers.
and they only get paid if you win. So already there, like if you don't have proof, like no one is
Well,
going
that
to
is,
take your case.
well, yeah. That makes sense if you think about it, in my opinion. Like if you
Yeah,
don't
so
have
why
substantial proof.
so
Oh
why
yeah, I see what you're
do you
saying.
need, additional, like, you know,
Oh, are you talking about like whether the jury believes you or not?
um no, like whether or not the federal government will even hear the case out. Like they won't even take the case on unless it's like like majorly like they called you the N word. So
Oh,
when the
okay.
EEOC decides not to take the case, like the other like the defense will like use that as a way to like kind of push and see, like be like, see, the EEOC says there's not discrimination, so you should
So if the
settle.
EEOC says no to the case, it can't go to court.
No, you can file, but they use that as leverage. Like the defense attorneys will use that as leverage to kind of force people to settle.
Oh yeah, that is their job though, right?
Yeah, but that's why the EEOC, it's their responsibility to take on these cases so that people can actually have their day in court.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that makes sense. It is government bureaucracies though, so it's just by law, like by nature, it's going to be inefficient.
Well, there's apparently there's been a lot of changes when it comes to like after the pandemic. Like they've kind of limited their scope and not really wanted to send like people out to do actual investigations. I feel like it's kind of like how prosecutors, like 90% of their things end up in plea deals because like, there's just not enough time to do all of the actual cases. So there's like this pressure to close the cases with plea deals. I feel like it's a similar situation. So they actually need more funding, not less.
Um, yeah, perhaps. I'm of the opinion that, the government is made up by a group of imperfect people, therefore it's going to always be inefficient and imperfect. And I don't necessarily think more funding makes the situation better. I think 9 times out of 10, it just makes it, they just take that money and throw it to somebody they owe. But that's kind of off topic, so we'll not get into that.
I would say corporations do that more.
Well, yeah, corporations
They
have an
they just
incentive
pocket
to.
it rather than actually put it towards stuff.
Yeah, I mean, corporations absolutely care about uh, the shareholders, and that's just kind of their nature, and it's what it is.
I don't really know how we got here. I'm sorry, Parkers. I'm supposed to be doing my homework.
Okay, yeah,
No,
but
you've still been working. I've been learning.
I think I kind of forgot like what topic we were on. Um,
We
we
were talking about
we got to courts somehow,
yeah,
but
how
but pay
companies
gap, right?
how companies get away with discriminatory practices. Um, so like if we're staying on the economic disparities, then we also have the glass ceiling, where women are underrepresented in leadership positions. They only hold about 10% of CEO roles in the Fortune 500 companies as of 2023, when women in leadership positions actually uh, let's see, there's a more comprehensive analysis published in the Harvard Business Review that found that women were rated as more effective than men in 84% of the competencies that distinguish excellent leaders, including taking initiative, acting with resilience, and driving for results. So if women are so capable, why are they only holding 10.6% of CEO positions?
No, that's a good point, and I definitely concede that there is biases um, that do affect that. I will counter, and by the way, you know I'm not gonna have stats like you do, and
No,
I'm
yeah,
not
you're
as good a
fine.
researcher like you, but I have heard that while men do hold a majority of CEO positions, um, women disproportionately hold like the middle ground. Like for instance, I think the vast majority of like homeless people and like jobless people in this country are male. So while like men do extremely well at the top, there's a disparity at the very bottom. I do believe the majority of homeless people are men, which is interesting to me. Like it's either I feel like with men, like the dilemma is either like super successful or basically worthless.
You know, that's the first time someone has said that the USA must not dislike women because there's not as many of them houseless. That
I do think it's true that the vast majority of like homeless people are male.
But what does that have to
Um,
do with the USA not liking women? Like,
well,
don't you
well,
guys believe that like being unhoused is like because of your personal choices? That's what most Republicans
not
believe.
necessarily, but like it is like if you bring up the fact that women are like underrepresented in the top echelons of like business, like CEOs and like high up positions. I just think it's also fair for me to bring up that the women are also underrepresented in like the homelessness population, and men are overrepresented. So like I don't necessarily think
Well,
representation is
I would
like
need
a
to see like why that is. Is it because men leave their families more, or like, and then the women keep the children, and that's why they keep the house? I don't know.
well,
I'd
and
have
that's
to
the
see
point I'm
that.
trying to get to. Like I agree that there's like biases that people see with like I absolutely think you guys are right when it comes to like people look at a woman and they don't assume that she would be as competent as a man. Like that's true. Um, but I also think they also at the same time hold more empathy towards women as opposed to a man. Like if a man is like you're either a winner or you're an absolute failure.
But that's the patriarchy, and that's due to other men. So you guys got to take it up with each other.
Well, it's
yeah.
due to human beings. Like what?
No, no, no,
Like
no, 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 no. So sorry to cut you off, but
no, go ahead. I'm interested.
I was like, if because we are, I was like, we are essentially addressing the patriarchy and how it, the center of this conversation is primarily how it affects and disservices women, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't harm men as well. And you actually brought up one of the ways that it harms men because it's the patriarchy that kind of attaches the mental health stigma, and therefore men are less likely to take mental health treatment seriously because it's seen as more like emotional and feminine, which exacerbates conditions and it contributes to houselessness. Um, there's also the issue with like the criminal justice system. There's the issue of veterans and military service who are like the overrepresentation within military servicemen are in fact men, and the population with high rates of homelessness due to PTSD, lack of civilian job training, and sufficient veteran support systems are ridiculously high. So, like, in that regard, there's not the supports, you're right, for men, and it's mostly due to government inadequacy as well as patriarchy harming and weakening social ties amongst men.
I'm not so convinced that it's government like involvement that's gonna solve the issue. If I'm being honest.
Do you think the government takes good care of our vets when they leave service?
No.
Okay.
I know for a fact they don't.
Yeah.
My mom and my dad are both veterans.
Oh,
Um,
what branches did they serve?
they met in the Marine Corps. They were
Oh my
both
god, that's so
Marines.
cool.
It is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the VA is not effective. But at the same time, I don't think throwing money at the VA would make it better, honestly.
Why not? We've literally never tried it before.
Because they have the wrong mindset. Um,
You mean they have a toxic patriarchal mindset where they don't care about mental health and don't
no, their
acknowledge safety
answer
first?
to mental health problems is throw drugs at you. And that never really works out well.
Yeah, we've seen an uptick in substance abuse issues because
Yeah, absolutely.
instead of actually addressing, the community issues of where men, quote unquote, aren't allowed to rely on other men or maintain a close family or community connections, which would provide not only a safe place for vulnerabilities and accessing social services, but actually then again ties into like they lose temporary housing or financial support during a crisis.
Parker's comment made me laugh. I've got an opposing view to what the host image states. May I join? Who are you talking to?
What?
Do you think that there's like a TikTok like I don't know, overlord that reads the comments and it's like, yes, this person wants as an opposing view, and they said may instead of can I join?
They were trying so hard to be polite. Like there's credit for that. Look at participation trophies.
Guys, we gotta tap the screen. There's only not even 20K likes. The shares are probably like 5.
Wait.
14.
I'll tap the screen.
Can we get 25K likes in the next 10 minutes, please, guys? Everybody in the chat, bring them up. Here we go. Yeah.
Zep Pound. I remember Zep Pound now.
Household name, guys. If you're in the chat, you're enjoying the content, double tap the screen. We'll get down to Denko's beliefs pretty soon, hopefully. So we'll see.
So I got a question for Parker, I guess. Because you were bringing up the patriarchy. Like, do you think, like, because, like, I fundamentally believe that there is, like, a biological difference between men and women, and I do think there's a reason that we are the way that we are, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I was, like, indoctrinated by the patriarchy. And, like, let me just explain. Like, it's always been of, like, my opinion that, like, I don't want to express emotion, like, in public. Like, if I ever have to cry, and I'm not saying I do, but I would do it in, like, the privacy of a room alone. And
why don't
honestly,
you say that you do? Why don't you admit that you cry? That is a human, healthy thing to do.
Because I view it as weak.
That's
like,
literally
honestly,
the patriarchy, bro. Like,
did you just say because you think it makes you feel weak? That's the patriarchy, sweetie.
No, but like that was just born
just because
that way.
they didn't put you through a course.
That's
like,
literally.
Hey, Denko, you can cry in front of guys, by the way. Like you can't do that.
I judge guys for that. Like,
he's like, not saying I do cry.
No, but Denko, like you can cry in front of guys. It's not like a problem. Like I think most people have done that.
I know, but like I would never, honestly.
Why?
I don't know, because like I judge guys for crying. Like if I ever saw
dude, it's not that deep, man.
Patriarchy.
Come on, bro. It's not
patriarchy?
that.
That's just like,
bro. It's you're kind of like it's not like that. Like substantial to cry in front of other men. To be honest with you, like that's like kind of pretty normal for most guys. To be honest with you.
I don't know, man. Like,
wait, why do you feel uncomfortable when you cry in front of them?
I think it's acceptable at funerals.
No, but like, can you cry in front of your guy friends? Like, is that cool?
No, dude.
Why not, bro?
They would fucking eat me alive.
Dude, honestly,
the patriarchy.
If they're gonna eat you alive,
that's like tribal. Like that's tribalism. Like,
bro, but if they're gonna
a warrior culture,
if they're gonna attack you for crying in front of them, I don't know if those are good. If those are good guy friends, to be honest with you.
Okay.
No, they were doing it for my own good. Like I'd be embarrassing myself.
No, they're not. Denko, why is it appropriate? Why is it okay to cry at a funeral?
Because it's like a loss of a loved one.
Yeah, so you're like, that's valid. That's a valid expression of emotion, right?
What?
So the idea there is that because you are hurt and you are grieving, you are allowed to cry.
Yes. Because like that's like a very emotional moment. It's like the birth of your first child. Like that's also an acceptable cry.
Oh, so you can cry when your first child born? Okay. What about the second one?
The second one, yes.
But Denko, like, have you tried to like be vulnerable with your guy friends or?
No, fuck no. I would never.
Why?
Just because like I don't believe in it.
Dude, come on. Like you.
Why don't you believe
that's not.
What is the patriarchy?
No, that's not patriarchy. That's just like
Devin in the chat. You realize that Bound is an op. 90% of the time, Zepan's an op.
Yeah. But Denko, I mean, it's kind of like you should be a bit more vulnerable with your guy friends, to be honest with you.
But like, what does it accomplish? Like, I don't see the point.
Community, and it's also a healthy way to process your emotions.
Yeah, like it's not shameful to cry in front of your guy friends. Like people have that misconception.
It's better than like taking it out on your drywall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a punching bag. Like, I don't think that's a problem. Like, that's a healthy way to get rid of my anger, right?
Okay. You just said to get rid of your anger. We were talking about grief and hurt and crying.
Oh yeah, you can maybe get away with it in private, but like I would never do it in front of people.
I mean, sure, but like, just for the record, anger is a secondary emotion. When we feel angry, it is because we are covering up the primary emotion of fear, of feeling threatened, of feeling upset in some way or capacity. Why is it okay for you to express anger, but not any of the upset?
Express anger, it's like I guess it's like not okay to like express it towards like other people. Like that's why I use a punching bag.
Sure. Would you punch your bag in front of your friends?
I guess if we were like training together, yeah. But like I wouldn't go like, hey, watch this.
But you wouldn't
You
cry
know?
in front of them.
No, I wouldn't. Because like you gotta like it's not indicative of a leader.
Does it count as crying if you do it underwater? Like if you guys are at the beach and you cry underwater?
But Denko, the problem is like when you don't like cry in front of like your guy friends, like that's kind of like dangerous behavior, low key. Like you
How's
should.
that dangerous though? Like I don't see how it hurts anybody. Not
Dude,
like being
when you have
stoic.
right, but like the problem is like when you're stoic like that, right? Like you're repressing your emotions, right? So, and that's gonna be kind of projected onto somewhere else. So like when you say I can't cry in front of my guy friends, it's kind of dangerous behavior, low key.
But like I just think that like this like originates from like a primal reason. Like
Nope.
No, I
in
mean,
like
dude, you can cry in front of
situations
them,
of
bro.
like imagine if you were in the military and like your officer, your captain, you know, you got into a sticky situation and he just burst out crying because he's stressed out. Like you'd be like, what the fuck is this guy crying for? You know,
Dude,
like
I
I want
think
a leader. I don't want
out.
I think
to.
your
You know what I'm
problem
saying?
is that you're kind of like correlating like crying with like a lack of emotional control, which is kind of like not really the case. It's more it's like crying is displaying emotional control because usually people that can't express their emotions, they're going to resort to violence, right? So like, I mean, I have friends who are like ROTC from college who are like, you know, officers. And like I've met a few guys who have cried and it's not a problem. It's more healthy than to project that anger or that sadness against somebody else or against like a physical object, right? So I think maybe your perception of like manliness or like your manhood is a bit misconstrued, to be honest with you.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I guess it's a personal choice.
Yeah, I mean, like,
whatnot.
and if you can't like,
Because I look down on it, if I'm being honest. Like if my guy friend started crying, I'd be like, dude, you're embarrassing yourself.
And
no, it's not true.
That's what we're unpacking is where did you get the idea that that's an embarrassment? If there's a comment in the chat of Sammy saying, I've seen many men cry in the army, no one saw them as weak. Like the reality is when you are going through hell with somebody and you see them have a moment of tears or weakness or vulnerability, you tend to, especially in those high pressure situations, relate and either join in or at least like respect that validation and that emotional expression. I was like, but when you are outside of it and you're just thinking of it, you predict that you think that you would find that disconcerting or unhealthy in some capacity. And the point that we've been trying to make is that that's not actually natural. That's not inherent. You were instilled with that as a kid.
Dinko, do you have like a girlfriend or like a partner?
Oh, not at the moment, no.
Okay, I mean, I'm the reason why I ask that, you know, it's important to express how you feel, right? whether it's men, partners, intimate people that you're with, but to like hold that up and bottle it is pretty dangerous, to be honest with you. Like that's how you feel like crap, to be honest with you.
Are you allowed to cry during a movie?
Absolutely, I've done before.
No, I'm not talking to you, Zeppa. I know you cry.
No, like I had a girlfriend. Like I would never cry in a movie. Like when we watch a movie together, I would never have cried in front of her.
Dinko, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Titanic? You didn't cry in Titanic?
No, I actually hated it. I don't get mad at me, but I did not like Titanic.
Elena, you cried in Titanic. That's
100%. Of course I cried. I cried. I can cry right now thinking about it, and I haven't seen it in 20 years.
I just don't like. There was plenty of room on that bedstand for both of them.
Wait, what?
Oh, I was crying way before that. I was crying way before that.
I was gonna be like, did you cry at Mighty Joe Young? But you
I had
didn't.
to watch Titanic with my girlfriend actually, and I was.
I cried during a Goofy movie, bro. Like I'm unwell.
I definitely
I'm unwell.
Like got emotional during movies.
The movie's horrifying, low key though.
Dinko, I think you're pretty like.
I'm not saying I don't feel emotions. It's just like I would never express it in front of other
What about
people.
The Notebook?
Why would you not express your emotions in front of the people that you can trust?
Yeah.
How could you hold it back?
What?
How could you even hold it back? The Notebook. Every time I watch that movie, I'm like, I know how this movie goes.
Dinko,
I can handle it. I can definitely handle it. And then, three-fourths of the way in, I'm hysterical, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Every time.
Dinko, sorry, go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
Do you like dogs? Do you like animals?
I do.
Okay. Did you cry at the beginning of John Wick?
Oh, good question. That was a good question.
You're gonna hate me, but I've never seen John Wick.
Oh man!
I've seen like a lot of movies.
Bro,
I've
never
seen that one.
Unenlightening me. What movies have you seen?
I think it's lying to us.
No, I've actually never seen that one.
Deepwater Horizon.
I've seen Deepwater with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
I've seen that movie.
It's a classic guy movie. Gladiator.
Yeah.
All right.
I just watched the second
one. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
I've seen some obscure ones too. Like, my mom watches a lot of movies. I watch it with her, so I've seen she likes sad movies, which is just crazy to me.
Yeah, that's right.
I've seen like Terms of Endearment. That one kind of got me.
I've heard that one. Yeah.
That's a bummer. Don't ever watch it. It's like, oh my god, it's just a bummer.
Yeah, The Lion King. Dude, I cried on Lion King.
Dude, Lion King is sad, low-key. Or high-key.
Really, any old school Disney? Dumbo.
Yeah.
Bambi, bro.
Bro, Bambi got me messed up, low-key. Messed up.
The patriarchy does us no favors in saying that it is unnatural or too feminine to cry. Like, it is perfectly fine. It is perfectly normal.
I know.
I'm saying it's natural, but
oh my god, AK, What Dreams May Come, bro. That movie.
Robin Williams.
If you watch that movie, like, it will ruin your life.
Robin Williams is like crying on repeat.
That Before Time, also, yeah. Brave Little Toaster.
You know what movie was that? All Dogs Go to Heaven. That one fucked me up.
Yeah, that one's hard.
Did you cry?
That's the same girl from Land Before Time too.
No, Dunko doesn't
cry. She has a
really
sad backstory, actually.
He's a man. He doesn't cry.
No, I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying, like, not in public.
Do you feel comfortable crying around like girlfriends or partners or your guy friends or?
I did once in front of my girlfriend, but that was like
Did you say once?
Just once.
Oh.
That was an exception.
Did she give you a hard time?
I don't even know. What?
Did she judge you?
Did she give you a hard time?
No, she was leaving. Like, it was like she was moving away, and I think she would have gave me a hard time if I didn't.
I think crying makes you more attractive than if you don't cry, to be honest with you.
I don't know necessarily. I've heard it gives women the ick.
No, most women prefer guys that can be emotionally expressive, to be honest with you. Like, most women want a guy that can, like, express himself So
Maybe at like certain points, like that's what I'm trying to get to, like the specific points. But
yeah, like not like a
like
hookup. Yeah, I wouldn't like.
nobody
Not
wants
like
like a
that for a
crybaby,
hookup.
like a sad sack.
No, but like, you can be like a strong man who can also like express himself emotionally and then cry. Like there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Like do you know
I
like the
guess,
boundaries
yeah,
of
Like
that? Like
at certain intervals.
yeah,
when we had to put my like dog to sleep, if my husband didn't cry, bruh, it would be over. It would be over. R.I.P. Hugo.
yeah. Like think like you can't cry in front of like women. Like it's not like a problem. To be honest with you, like it's not gonna.
And the whole chat is taking a poll that you should absolutely cry when you want to.
Yeah, and there's like nothing wrong with that. Like women won't discount you or find you like a lesser of a man by crying. Like that's actually a strong thing, to be honest with you. And in my personal experience, like if you can be emotionally expressive, your relationship is much more likely to be successful. If you can like take accountability and like own up to your emotions and like express how you feel, that will do better for you in the long term than like hiding that. You know, because women don't like when you hide things like your emotions and that, and they know too. Like they're not like they're aware of how you feel, but they want to see if you can actually like come to the plate and own up to it. So
You know what? I will concede
there we go.
at a point, but not initially.
Well,
I'll
then
stand
I
by
mean,
that.
just try. Like you
It's
don't have
like
to like.
I feel the same way. Like if you've been dating somebody for like a couple years, like the little things you do to annoy them, like they're fine with it, they put up with it. But like if you do it on a first date, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to see that dude again." You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but then
saying?
like, women want you to be like accountable for yourself, right? It's like when you're emotionally expressive in an appropriate manner, it shows accountability, and they can like kind of put you in check. So
Yeah, no, I agree.
my opinion,
I
like
disagree with the when it's appropriate.
and like
All right,
you can
Denko,
figure
cry right now. Let's cry right now. Let's do it. Let's rip off the band-aid. Let's cry. Put on Marley and me. Let's do this.
I'm not sad.
You said put on Marley and me. I'm out. Oh no.
I
Listen,
feel bad for luring him into this conversation.
who would want like why? When I like learned about Marley and me, like why? Like why the fuck would anyone watch that movie? What do you think's gonna happen, y'all? Do you really think you're gonna get through it? I know better. I know better
I
than
didn't
like
get
I
through
didn't
it. It
want to
was
watch that
sad
movie.
though.
I could not. I don't need to.
I was distracted by Owen Wilson's nose the whole entire time.
Almost in this pretty
It's
cute.
just so crooked, man. It bothers me.
Oh,
I want to like force it back into place.
what?
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of weird like that. I can't. I like him, but like I also like his nose bothers me. I want to hit him.
I'll just focus on the dog, to be honest with you.
That's why his nose looks like that, is because people kept wanting to hit him.
Yeah, my nose looks like that.
Oh.
Oh shit! All right, no Luigi Mangione over here. I
I
guess.
feel like wait a second. I feel like that his nose bothers you so much that you want to hit it back in place. It's kind of like you're kind of like proving the point about the emotional regulation thing.
Emotional regulation.
Yeah.
Denko, do you like bar fights? Is that your thing?
I've been in quite a few. I've won some. I've lost some.
I fucking knew it. Nothing wrong with that.
Straight up, I enjoy them. I had to stop though because
For bar fights, yeah, just
I
don't
got
do it.
arrested.
Just don't do
You're
it.
an
No.
adult.
Because
I
you
know,
that's
it's a bad
because you
idea. I
don't
understand that
cry.
Wait, when they arrest you, do you like resist or do you kind of like?
I punched a bouncer. We had a difference.
Oh,
of
come
opinion.
on, bro. Come on. What the? Oh
I
my
know. I
God.
got jumped so hard. It was crazy.
Dude, don't fight back when
I
you're
busted up,
bro.
and then
Don't.
it was my fault.
Come on, come on, bro. Don't
I
fight.
got a cool mugshot out of it though.
How do I
Nah,
keep
No, come on. That's a natural. That's like guys
Yeah, bro,
being
you need
dudes.
therapy. You need hardcore therapy.
Wait,
You
Denko.
need to work
Guys
through
being
some
do
shit.
stuff? No, baby. No.
Denko, do you punch back when they arrest you, or do you just kind of take it?
No. Like I'm kind of a caveman. Like so, like I don't respect authority unless somebody could beat me up or kill me.
So you punch them
That's
back?
not the word. No, not cops. Like they'd have guns.
That's good. But
Sorry,
you take it right.
I shouldn't
Like
say
you
that
keep
word.
the cops on, whatever. Okay, that's fair.
No, yeah, they can unalive me, so like I would not resist.
What? Yeah, man. I don't know. If how many times have you been arrested?
Twice.
No, it's not
Okay.
something.
I mean, I don't know. Like, why did you get arrested for it? Was it, like for fights or for
One time for assault on
on
a
a girl or
banker.
man?
No, man.
Okay.
I would never touch a woman.
No worries. How about the second time?
The second
Something's about the
time
toxic
was
patriarchy.
drunk and disorderly conduct.
So, bro, I mean, like at that point, like I would just not
Therapy,
drink it.
bro. You need therapy.
I was in college.
No, but you should be fighting guys at the bar though. Like, why did you fight them?
Because my friend was chirping at him, and then they got mad at my friend, and they pushed my friend. So I
You threw one?
What?
You threw one at him?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, my friend started it. He was chirping first, but like that's my teammate.
Yeah, man. It's just not worth it, bro. I don't know. I mean, like at that point, I mean, I've been to jail before for disorderly conduct, public talks, but it's not worth fighting.
Yeah,
So-
I came to this realization myself.
It
took me a while, but I came around.
What is happening right now? Hey, Dinko, have you
No
ever
wonder
heard?
you guys are pro-Trump.
For real. Have you ever heard the statement or the commentary that like girls mature faster than boys?
Yes, they absolutely do.
They definitely
That's
do.
100% true.
Do you know why?
I think they have to be.
It's maturation of the prefrontal cortex, right?
In order to be like a mother, like I think you have to be more mature.
Nope. Cutting you off there. Thanks for playing. We perceive little girls as growing up faster, quote unquote, because of the emotional regulation that they have to learn at an early age, and that we don't instill in our boys because we do things like tell them boys don't cry, only girls do that. So then they have a harder time regulating their emotions, and it takes them longer to find that maturity value, and then they end up in bar fights until they're 24.
Parker's is pretty much on the point for that one. I was lucky that when I was in college, I had a girlfriend who kind of kept me in check emotionally and held me accountable for my behavior. But yeah, no, she's right. She's right.
I know this isn't
I'm
the point.
so confused.
You had a girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm confused.
About what?
Not you, Dinko. Zip?
Oh.
Is it done?
Like bar fights?
No. Did you say you had a girlfriend?
I did, yeah.
Weren't you gonna? Didn't you offer to fly out frenemies?
Yeah, no, I've flown out girls before, yeah. Like, but that was like more when I was the past 2 years, I'd say. Like after I graduated.
Oh my god, are you bi?
I mean, frenemies can definitely get like a free flight. Like, there's no questions asked about that one.
Oh my god.
Like, I would not. I'm not. I would consider myself like heterosexual, but like frenemies, like we will hang out for sure. Like, definitely. If he's down, I'm down. like I'm not one to like. I don't know. He seems like a fun time. So I don't know.
Someone get frenemies in here right now.
No,
Right
you
now.
should. If he's down, I'll find him out.
yeah,
If he wants to come too, like I don't know if he wants to come out to.
Someone slide into his DMs so fast.
If he's interested, like I'm happy for that. Yeah, we can definitely make that happen.
I didn't think I don't think he thinks you were serious about flying him out.
No, like if like I'm down to hang out with him, absolutely, yeah. If he wants to come out, I can buy the plane ticket. We need like a weekend, in my state, so
What
like just for fun. Can I DM you that? I don't want to say it. I'll DM you. I don't want to get doxxed. So
okay, sorry. Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'll DM it to you. If you can connect me in front of me, it's like, yeah, he can come out. I
shared the last time I said Zephan wants to fly you out.
Yeah, I'm honestly down. I think it would be kind of fun if like me, frenemies, Parkers, Alina, Jones, and Santana, and if we all met up for like a weekend, that would be so much fucking fun. Like
Kristen, you gotta have Kristen there.
Oh, Kristen too. Kristen and Nicholas too. I would honestly pay for us to all go out for a weekend in like, it could be anywhere. We can do like Caribbean. We can do like, Puerto Rico. That'd be so much fun though.
You don't have to say what specific state, but are you in the South or not the South?
No South.
Okay, I'm in.
No, we could definitely make that happen. How fun would that be? We should vlog it too. We'll do like a vlog, like TikTok videos, like unite. We go out for like a weekend. It's have like an amazing time.
Hopefully not get arrested. Maybe Denko
Yeah,
can
exactly.
we can strap Denko to a chair and make him watch Marley and Me on home repeat.
Oh my
Like,
God.
right.
I'll repeat in the hotel room while we're going out for.
Oh God.
No, we should actually do that though. If honestly, next level would be like if we got Dean and Parker to pull up. I don't know if that could happen, but I mean, I'm down.
Fuck no. Ew.
Okay,
No.
none of that. But we can definitely do like a vacation though. We can make that happen. That would be kind of fun though, and we vlogged it too.
Do you think
Oh my God!
just looking at them, do you think that they're any fun? No.
Dude, I don't know.
It's like
Okay,
a
here's
saltine.
the thing.
Ain't no way.
Without the
I feel
salt,
like-
it's like a saltless saltine.
I feel like Jones, NoRads, Lena, Parker's, me, maybe Denko in like South America would be fun as fuck. That would be so much fun. But can you imagine, bro?
Like,
Jones in
he's
South
gonna
America with the whole squad?
Dude,
That'd be so
we
much
can't
fun.
take Denko out of the country because Denko's going to get in a bar fight and then he's not going to be able to come back into the country. He's going to be arrested and put
Dude,
into
Denko,
a prison.
I've been to
And we won't
Mexico
be able to get
before.
out.
Low-key. Denko, if you can like promise not to fight, you'll get the invite. But like,
My fighting days are over.
dude,
that
but you
story-
were like,
I can tell you that
like
story if you guys
press,
wanna
swipe your
know.
hands. Like,
When was the last time
If
you
you
got
guys
in
are
a
curious
fight?
of why I put down fighting, I can tell you the story.
No, when was the
I'm
last
worried
time?
that
Like
it's
how
going to get us. I'm worried that it'll get the live
I'll
taken
use
down.
friendly language.
Okay.
There's too many details.
Okay. It's actually a hilarious story. So I went to school in Montana, and we were at this trailer park party, me and my friends, and hung out with the rugby team. And then,
Oh,
so it was
that
like 6
explains
of us,
everything.
and we were in this trailer. Yeah. And then I was shooting this shit with this guy called Brisket, who's a friend of mine. And he wouldn't stop looking at this painting on the wall. And he was
Did
like,
you say brisket?
yeah, we call him
Yeah.
Brisket.
This is crazy work.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so he's
Alright,
like
go
looking
ahead.
at this painting. There's
That's
a
a good
painting of
kid
this
name.
woman, and it's just,
I'm going to name one of my kittens Brisket.
yeah, absolutely, you should take it. He was a great guy. But he was obsessed with this painting, and he was just like looking at it, and he wouldn't shut up about the fucking painting. And I finally had to tell him, I was like, Brisket, shut up about the painting. I don't care. And then this dude comes back, and he's like, who are all these random guys in my trailer? And he's like, if I don't know you, get the fuck out. So I walk out, and it's icy. Like, it's like a blizzard outside, so it's all icy. And I walk out, and my buddy Brisket, he like walks up to the wall, grabs the painting off the wall, and walks out the door with the painting. So like, this dude who owns the trailer, he had like 6 of his friends. They came like running out, and then everybody slips on the stairs because it's like full of ice. And then it's like a 6-on-6 brawl in the middle of the street with ice, and everybody's slipping everywhere. And then like I hit this guy really hard, and like he slips and hits his head really hard. And then I was like super spooked. This is like, oh my God, I didn't mean to kill this dude, but he was unalive. Sorry, he was fine. But like for a second there, I was like, oh my God, did I do something terrible?
I mean,
And then I hung up the boxing gloves after that.
Or
Retired.
you kind of like threw a guy on the ice though. Like,
how long
I
ago?
did.
Was this like last weekend? Like how long ago was this?
This was 2 years ago when I was in college.
bro, you should like
Wow.
fight them. Like I would just walk away.
I
To
know.
be honest with you, like
That's the lesson
just,
I learned. That's just like my wake up moment.
Cause like you don't
I
go to
was
jail
like-
for that crap either. Like sounds like you've been in jail. I've been in jail. Like it's not worth the
Thanks, Ashley.
fight. To be honest with you. Personally,
Yeah. That's when I was like, okay.
it's like different. I think you're definitely
I had like
girlfriend.
an epiphany.
Big
after
W
that.
to Ashley.
Yeah, big W for Ashley. Big W for the Santana.
Zepbound hasn't sent a single coin. Like, just to fly you out and all that stuff. Like,
Sent, like I will also receipts now, but like big W for the
I'm gonna tell you
Santana,
guys.
Alina, No Rats, Zepbound, Parker's meetup in South America. The podcast would go crazy.
I'm sorry, I'm not leaving the country with any of you guys. Like, I'm not getting like stuck in another country. because
You know what?
someone
No
did
worries.
something inappropriate.
Have none of
I'll
you
go.
guys
I'll hit
ever
up
been in a
Jones.
fight though?
I'm
Like,
down to go to South America with Jones. That would be a fucking time of my life. I feel like.
No, I'm not allowed back in.
that's a question for you guys.
Some
Like, have you guys never
countries in
been
South
in
America.
like a fist fight ever?
Like one time, yeah, in college. It was in the frat though. It was different.
No,
Did you win?
I've
I mean,
I've
he
tried.
stopped
I've
fighting.
tried.
You tried.
Yeah, like
Did you hit
I
somebody?
always like I've always wanted to get in a fight like so badly, but like
See,
people would talk shit
we're
to
not so
me and I
different.
would talk shit back to them and they would never do anything. Like, and I don't know if it's
So
because
boring.
when I was like when I used to, be out and about more and not like an old married woman, like I was like a lot I was like a twig. I was a fucking twig. So I don't know if people just like looked at me and was like, she must be fucking crazy because she's like a little twig and she's like wants to fight. But yeah, no one ever wanted to fight me.
That was
Maybe
not
someday.
the issue that I
There's
never
something like
started issues.
exhilarating
I just
about it.
ended
Like,
them.
But
I
fighting.
swear, it's like this is a primal instinct. Like, there is something that is enjoyable. I've always had fun doing it. But I
Yeah, but it's
stopped.
like not fun. Like what? It's like a bar, like a club or something. It's a bit like
It's
more.
like when you watch like football. Like, you enjoy watching people get run over. I swear, it's like
I don't know. I will say it is much
NASCAR?
more fun. It is much more fun to like mature past like wanting to get physical with people and like just destroy people with your words. Like that's the next
Yeah.
level. Like the way that I can
Yeah.
literally just like without getting emotional at all, like just completely destroy someone's life. It's a gift that I've had since I was younger.
Heals. But I can say words that will haunt you every night as you fall asleep for the rest of your life, and that's really more beneficial for me.
Yeah, like the physical fighting is not that fun personally.
no, but I'm just saying like there's like
A rush.
it's like you enjoy watching UFC for the violence.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just, it's not worth it for me personally. Like the fight, like
yeah.
get arrested.
I don't
Like
enjoy any of that stuff.
You don't like
Mm-mm.
any sports of any kind?
I don't watch
Just
sports
listen.
ball. I like
But do
baseball.
you watch like action movies though, right? Like that's kind of similar, right?
I
Not
haven't.
really.
I can't tell you the last movie I watched. I have like the attention span of like a squirrel, a gerbil.
A
Don't you do
meerkat.
like
Are those mats
lives
going?
all day though?
I said, how are those mats going, squirrel?
Yeah, I'm literally like laying down because I'm so tired.
I mean,
I'll probably control out delete this live in a second.
That's valid. We got obviously very much off topic.
Yeah,
But
we kind of.
the patriarchy sucks. It doesn't like women, and it really doesn't like men either. Fun fact.
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of got way off topic, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I don't know.
This is finding music immediately.
Yeah, pickles. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow.
That one might get us kicked, so I'll choose a different song.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. Cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
I'm gone.
Maybe in like 5 years, Zenko will come back and be like, you know what, y'all? I had a good cry, and it changed my life.
Yeah, maybe.
So like, I gotta ask, like, what's the There's got to be a purpose why you guys are doing this live, right? I feel like most people.
I drank and went on the internet. Yeah, for sure.
No, like I'm in the same boat, man. I was at the bar earlier. I'm getting ready for Christmas, but like, you must want to like change people's minds.
For me,
right? Like, no, that's for like the host mostly.
No,
right?
I like arguing with people.
You like arguing with people.
I like arguing with people.
I do too. That's why I join these lives sometimes. But sometimes I like just talking.
Hey, not Zep is crazy. Work in the comments. Hey.
That background is really distracting.
W pickle background.
Yep, the pickle wins.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was Santa, but you get the idea.
Alright, I got one more question before I go to bed.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do y'all think trolling
We made
is
it weird for
bad?
you, I know.
What do you mean by trolling, bro?
That reminds of Santa. It offsets everyone.
I do it sometimes.
Like trolling
Be
on
honest.
TikTok?
Oh,
What are you
yeah.
trolling? Are you punching
Live.
down or are you punching
Like how?
up?
Like how do you troll?
I'll troll anybody and everybody. Like,
No.
I'll go on
Yeah?
Trump lives and liberal lives, and I'll just find what like gets them angry, and I'll figure out how to make them like riled up.
So you're drinking on TikTok pretty much.
So like, I went on this like yeah, that's
Doing
kind of a
bar
hobby.
fights
Like,
to doing virtual
Pretty
fights.
much, yeah.
That's opposite.
He's like, I'm done with
maybe
bar
I'm a
fighting.
bad
We're going to
person.
TikTok fighting.
Can we
I
let him
went on this
finish?
Sorry.
this like Norse pagans live, and he was like, ask me anything. I'm a Norse pagan, and I kept asking him about like Skyrim lore. Like, I was like, are you a Nord? And he got so upset with me.
Skyrim lore?
Skyrim.
Yeah, I kept referring to him as like a Nord. He's like, oh, Nords aren't real. That's from Skyrim.
That's a little funny. That's valid.
What's your Skyrim? Are you like a? What's like your sign for Skyrim?
Oh, I was a Nord, man. Actually, I was a lizard originally. I was an Argonian, and they didn't like me.
Yeah. Damn.
Skyrim was like my favorite game ever of all time ever.
Santa's sleepy.
I did a lot of RuneScape back in the day.
Oh, I played the shit out of RuneScape, man. I almost got scammed out of my credit card on RuneScape.
Real?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm an Iron Man 99 Prestige for smithing, but that's about it.
My brother still plays RuneScape.